Please welcome Mr. Basavaraj Bommai, Chief Minister, Karnataka, and he will be in conversation with Navika Kumar.
Thank you very much, Mr. M.K. Anand, for the honors and welcoming Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. Bommai. Very, very pleased to announce that the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. Bommai, is joining us here on Times Now Summit. Mr. Bommai, you've just taken over a little while ago the reins of Karnataka. The BJP has been on a changing spree of chief ministers, at least in 4 states. The question many people are asking is, in the middle of the term, when there is a change of guard, how do you manage to bring the governance issues, to bring issues of people's needs, and how do you address the problems that exist? Is it a political exercise or is it an exercise in governance?
Good evening, everybody. As far as Karnataka is concerned, I have taken over from my leader, B.S. Yediyurappa, who was a chief minister earlier also. 4 times he was chief minister. And this time he had a 2-year stint. And BJP and Yediyurappa are integral part. So the policies of BJP and the programs of BJP was very well delivered during B.S. Yediyurappa's time. So all the major policy and programs which were envisaged and implemented during his time is continuing, certainly. Plus, I have responded to the people's need of Karnataka. So these are all add-ons, because I have taken over the period where COVID was on the way out, and had to prepare the state to take off in its economic activity without wasting much time, and instill the confidence in the people to be a part of the economic activity. That challenge was new to me. And I concentrated that, and we are doing well on that front.
I want to ask you, Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, what is the stamp that Basavaraj Bommai wants to leave in terms of his legacy on Karnataka? You said economic activity. What are you doing? Because in any case, Karnataka, Bengaluru is seen as the Silicon Valley of India. There's been keen competition from neighboring states and neighboring cities like Hyderabad. Mr. Bommai, how do you plan to take Karnataka forward as far as investments, business activities, as well as being the startup hub of India is concerned?
I will come to first part of your question later. Your question, how does you want to take Karnataka forward? As you yourself mentioned, Karnataka has been blessed state. It has got best of both the worlds, in the sense Karnataka has got 10 agroclimatic zones. The advantage of these so many agroclimatic zones is that we grow almost all the crops, and even if the rains are shortfall, there are some other crops where we do grow. Therefore, we grow from a water guzzling crops like sugarcane and paddy to a dry crop like pulses. Therefore, agriculture is a very strong base of our state, basically. Now, thanks to our elders, uh, before independence, our elders started investing in education. So we have got best of education institutions prior to independence. Then they were improved after independence. Therefore, the private sector in education was always a pioneer to take up new challenges. Hence, the education base along with agriculture is there. So we see very naturally people responding to the facts to move from agriculture to other fields. That's how we have got highest number of skilled human strength in Karnataka than in any other state. Right from agriculture implements to IT, to space technology, artificial intelligence, semiconductors, renewable energy, you name it. There are people in that activity in a good number and very successfully. So we got best of the both world. A new technological oriented world as well as contemporary agriculture which has been modernized. So this is our strength. Myself, I want to harness these strengths. Now, if you take up per capita income of our state, even though we stand third, what I found is that 30 to 35% of the people participate in that. They contribute. But whereas still 65% of the people don't contribute, especially the women folk, SC, ST, OBC, minorities, women folk. Whatever they do, their activity, it was just hand to mouth for them. So I want them to upgrade with a lot of programs, financial help. And I want to see that they also contribute in the economic activity. Therefore, then the per capita income will also improve. The GDP will also improve. So I want to convert my people to stakeholders rather than beneficiaries. So that is a major target I have kept. So it should be people-driven economical activity and wherein other social considerations like education, health are taken care. So this is my ambition about Karnataka. As far as leaving mark, I want people to remember me that Mr. Basavaraj Bommai was a common man chief minister by the people and for the people, and he has uplifted the life of the last person of Karnataka. That is more important. I want my people to be healthy and wealthy.
I want to ask you, is the pressure, is the weight of legacy of your father, of his legacy in politics, of your predecessor, Mr. B.S. Yediyurappa's legacy in politics, weighing heavily on your shoulders when you step into the shoes of the chief minister?
Politically, yes. Because people start comparing immediately. They don't even give time. People like you, the very first day, they want me to behave like my father and B.S. Yediyurappa. Therefore, to perform to the best of the ability, that is the pressure I have. But I have worked under 5 chief ministers very closely. That experience comes very handy and helpful to me. So I convert this pressure into opportunity and get best out of me first and then my people.
Mr. Bomai, there is a controversy which is, as a forward-looking country, we must address, and that is the issue of political appeasement. I want to ask you specifically a question on whether there should be reservations in jobs for locals. Haryana has passed a bill. We understand there are pressures in Karnataka to have similar. There are pressures in all states. Madhya Pradesh in the Congress regime had passed such a bill. I want to ask you, for Karnataka, for Bengaluru, which is such a cosmopolitan city, there are head offices of various IT giants, various multinational companies. Do you think reservations in employment are really the way forward, or do you think this is short-term political appeasement which will overall impact development, growth of our country, its competitiveness, as well as become, instead of open economies, make it a closed economy and make states suffer?
Look here, that economics and social conditioning go together. A good economist or a good administrator should ride two horses. One is efficiency, another is equity. He has to ride two horses in the same direction with the same speed. That's the challenge in this country. There has been huge talk on this. But what I feel is that in a democratic setup, if the major population is not taken along, that democracy will not work for a long time. Therefore, opportunity has to be created to the classes who have been deprived. In that aspect, reservation is one big tool to see that opportunities are created. In fact, wherever I go, I see that whenever I talk to these sections of the people, I say that 3 E's are important: education, employment, and empowerment. So unless these 3 E's gives opportunity to everybody, the people who get the opportunity also will not be able to perform. So we have to balance it out, equity as well as efficiency. These two has to be balanced.
But they often say that anybody who tries to sail in 2 boats always drowns.
No, that's what intelligent
So
administrator...
you didn't use boats, you used horses.
The intelligent administrator will ride both the horses in the same direction with the same speed. That is the art of administration. And that is the need of the hour, whether somebody likes it or not.
What about merit?
That's why I said efficiency is there. See, there is a misconception about the whole thing. We need people to produce. If there is a production, then there can be a distribution. Without production, if you try to distribute, then you are spreading the butter of profit very thinly with everybody. So, a good administrator is one. He will totally dedicate to the production of the wealth in this country. And this production of wealth comes from where? See, the entire economy is moved. The movers and shakers of economy are of the people at the bottom of the pyramid. For example, you want to make a kilometer of road, I might give money as a chief minister. But unless somebody, some labor, the last man, toils in sun, rain, everything, and he puts the tar, the road is not complete. Once tar is put, road is complete, vehicle move, economy moves, government get taxes. So the real movers and shakers are the laborers and farmers and the people who sweat and people who work hard. That is bottom of the pyramid.
Mr. Bomai, let's...
So in that context, we have to take them along. They are the soldiers, foot soldiers of bringing strength to our economy. They add to the GDP.
Mr. Bomai, let's turn to the politics of Karnataka. And I want to ask you a question. In the recent by-polls, you won one seat and lost one seat. Many people have pointed towards infighting within the BJP as the cause of the loss.
See, we have won Sindhgi with a margin of 31,000. A handsome victory was there. That seat was not held by us. But unfortunately, we had a very big leader, CM Udasi, and he was won 6 times there. We lost it because he was not well for last 2.5, 3 years. And there was a sort of a disconnect between people and our local people. And there was a sort of uncertainty that caused a real uphill task. And I don't want to take away the credit from my opposite candidate, Congress candidate. In this last 3 years during COVID times, he had done a good job. So the combination of our lack of connect and his connect created this problem for us. But however, we have identified what to be done.
But
there.
why would you field a candidate who's been away from his constituency for 3
No,
years?
the candidate was new. He was not totally from this constituency. So we can't blame him also.
But in politics, you know, people will be baying for your blood.
Certainly, that's part of the game. That's part of the game.
So how does...
See, lot of leaders have won and lost. Lot of leaders' constituency have been won and lost. So people give us kind of a caution where you have done wrong. At the same time, they pat on our back where you have done good. So we should take it on a stride and go ahead.
So do you think the Congress is on a comeback trail?
See, I'll tell you categorically, this victory is not for the Congress party. It is a victory for that person who has really worked hard. That's why I said I want to give credit to him.
Sir, दिल से निकलता है पुराना गाना तो अच्छा होता है. People should also see the lighter side of the Chief Minister, because every human being in whatever field he's working needs that little bit soulful recreation.
That is the lubrication.
Absolutely. So why don't you sing something for our audience?
Which one? I mean, Hindi or Kannada or what?
हिंदी गा दीजिए. दिल्ली में
दिल्ली में है.
दिल्ली में है, हिंदी गा दीजिए.
It's a very difficult choice. I can't sing, you know, because I can just join somebody.
हाँ तो आप गाना तो बताइए.
आप चालू
हाँ, तो आप
कीजिए.
गाना बताइए.
हाँ?
गाना तो बताइए. मैंने देखा हुआ आपको गाते हुए.
चौदवी का चांद.
अरे वाह, चौदवी का चांद, मास्टरपीस.
या चौदवी का चांद हो या लाजवाब हो
या आफताब हो, जो भी
हो तुम
खुदा
की कसम लाजवाब हो.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है. Well, for being such a sport, for leading a state that Karnataka is, a cosmopolitan state, a state rich in culture and music, and for coming here and just being yourself, Mr. Basavaraj Bommai. Thank you so very much for joining us on the Times Now Summit.
Thank you so much, Navika.